Okay, listening to Horizon by Cerulean once again, but this time I'm here to explain something that I fairly believe the world forget. There can only be one God of Earth, only ever. Here's the breakdown of it though. Here's the scientific explanation of all of it. So, the resolution to this is that the world was created by thought. Just as the sun shines on the earth, there is one man that powers the human mind, that powers consciousness. The world is self-replicating. The world creates itself. I know we like to think of the creator being outside of this world, but if you look at how life moves, it only creates more of itself. Deers don't get pregnant to bear does and then an eagle one day. Likewise, an eagle cannot bear a boar. The hen cannot birth a cow, and the bee cannot birth a fly. They all reproduce after their own nature, and nature is the discussion that we're having here. So, humankind, and the reason why bees cannot birth flies and cows cannot bear boars is because the human mind needs to bear after its own nature, and that would be consciousness. What powers this world is consciousness, as human beings live in it amongst all the other animals. Now get this though, just as Earth is a host for all living things, consciousness is the host for all things mind. Did you hear me? Earth hosts life. Consciousness hosts the mind. Doesn't matter if they don't have the human body shape. It doesn't matter if a bee doesn't look like it can think. When you learn how they fly, you will forget that conversation immediately. Search it up. Search up how bees fly. It's not just a wing. Consciousness hosts the mind. The mind is how all human beings are connected. So if you have ever had any doubt about telepathy, get rid of it out of your mind now. Okay? I've watched countless Twitch streamers interacting with me in real time as if they were right in my face. And I'm sure you have too. Anytime you receive a post that you think is right on time, it's because you and that person have been collaborating the entire time. You can date long distance. I talked about this, I think 14 episodes into starting the relationship theory vlogs, the RT vlogs. Long distance relationships, they are possible. And if you were wondering how come you haven't had sex in a couple of years, it's probably because you're connected to your mate. You're not celibate, you're just connected to your mate who has yet to meet you. But it's not like you haven't been talking in consciousness, okay? There's no way you go in consciousness. Consciousness is the host of all things mind. And so if you are a human being, just as you are hosted by the earth, okay, God is your host. And as things self-replicate, there can only ever be one God on the earth at a time, which means that consciousness that bears all of humanity is always here in another human being. All right? So let's get that straight. Let's just get that straight. Okay, God is on earth and he comes as a human being